Elon Musk a couple months ago gave an interview where he said, you might think you want to be me,
Yeah.
as in like the richest person in the world, richest person in history, but you don't. And he was like, I think he said something like, it's a tornado up here. It's a mess inside of this head. You do not want to be inside of this head. I think that's really true. I think that's a profound truth, that you might think you want that kind of life, but there is a cost to that life. And the reason he's successful is because he's probably woken up tortured for his entire adult life trying to solve these problems. I am so glad and grateful that people like himself exist, because they made the world a better place with new technologies that we can all benefit from. But there's a big difference between saying, I'm glad you exist, and I would want your life. Those are two very different things.
It's almost like we're looking at the outcome. We're like, I want the outcome.
Yes.
I don't want all this stuff. We do this with athletes too, right? Like, I want the gold medal. I don't want the 5 a.m. practices
Right.
7 days a week. I don't want the.
Yeah. I think it was Naval who said, you can't just pick and choose bits of someone's life and say, I want his physique and her net worth, and I want his house. And like you have to take the whole package. And a lot of the great things in anyone's life, there's a cost that came with that, whether it's their career success that they had to put into it. You know, there's stories that Bill Gates worked, I think it was 25 years without ever taking a single day off. And most of the days he's working, it would be like he came home at midnight and crashed on the couch for 4 hours and then went back to work. I'm so grateful that he exists, but I would not want that for myself. That's not my definition of the life that I would want. Our friend David Senra, who runs the podcast Founders, has profiled, I think now, probably 350 founders over time. And he says, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure he said, the only founder that he has ever read their biography and thought, I want his life, is Ed Thorpe. And everybody else that he reads it, I think he comes to the same conclusion that I do. I'm glad they exist. I would never want to live their life. Because there's always a hidden cost that when you dig into it, you're like, yes, he was very successful because he sacrificed a million things that would be that are very important to you and I.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Like, you're incredibly successful. Your books have sold well over 5 million copies now. The inbound to you for requests of your time, your speaking, your presence, hop on the phone for 15 minutes must be off the charts.